Welcome back. This is Pioneer again. This is I Am Sure Sports. And we continue to preview the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. We'll be looking at the hurdles events, the sprint hurdles event. And as usual, ladies first. So we start by looking at the 100 meters for ladies and the prospects for the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. For me, there is a preemptive favorite in this event, and her name is Jasmine Camacho Quinn. For me, Camacho Quinn has been out of class this season. Personal best 12:32. Nobody comes close to her. As we know, the hurdles is an obstacle race, and anything could happen. But barring some unforeseen eventuality, I think Jasmine Camacho Quinn wins this event and wins it easily, hands down. There were reports of her nursing a minor injury. She pulled out of a Diamond League meet. I think that was just a precautionary move, and I think come Tokyo, we'll see Jasmine Camacho Quinn at her best. For me, her closest competition comes from the world record holder, Kenny Harris, making her first Olympic team for the United States. Last Olympics in 2016, Kenny Harris unfortunately did not make it. Went out a week or two after the Olympics and broke the world record. Can she do any damage to Jasmine Camacho Quinn at this Tokyo Olympics? As I said before, this is an obstacle race. Anything is possible. But I have not seen anything from Kenny Harris this year that says she is in the kind of form to threaten Camacho Quinn in Tokyo this year. What about our Jamaican prospects? Unfortunately, our record holder, Danielle Williams, didn't make it. She finished 4th at our Olympic trials. Our trials was won by Megan Tapper. Running out of lane 8, she surprised all, won in an impressive time of 12.68. A little off her personal best of 12.61. This is a lady who has gone through adversities. I've read about her story, I've seen her in the interviews. A lady of great faith. Had an impressive showing at our national trials. What of her prospects in Tokyo? For me, I think that there's a bronze medal on offer, and I want to write Megan Tapper's name on that bronze medal. We also have two other worthy contenders. Brittany Anderson, who is the fastest Jamaican this year, who has run 12:58. That's her season's best. That's her personal best also. I have at least two Jamaicans in the finals. We also have Yannick Thompson. For me, I see Megan Tapper and Brittany Anderson in that finals after 110, after 100 meter hurdles for ladies. Could we medal? It's an obstacle event. Anything can happen. We have seen surprises in the past in the hurdles events. We saw Danielle Williams winning in the 2015 World Championships, and that was a surprise to everybody. Nobody ever has the possible gold medalist. She surprised and she won. I would like to think that Megan Tapper has something special for Jamaica in Tokyo. I could see her running a personal best and getting a bronze medal. There are also some other contenders. There is Cindy Semba from Great Britain. She has shown good form this season. She won a Diamond League. I think it was the Gateshead London Diamond League. Ran a good time of 12:53. There are also other US contenders also. Gabby Cunningham has shown good form this season. However, as I said, the overwhelming favorite for me is Jasmine Camacho from Puerto Rico. I don't see her being beaten. I have Kenny Harris getting the silver medal, and the bronze medal is up for grabs. It is my hope that one of our Jamaican ladies Megan Tapper, or Brittany Anderson, possibly Yannick Thompson, could write their name on that bronze medal. Now I'm going over to the men's, on the men's side, the 110 meter hurdles. Unfortunately, our Jamaican Olympic champion Omar McLeod did not make it at our national trial. He complained of feeling cramps before the race, before the finals, which was run on an early Sunday morning. Semi-finals run the night before. He turned up for the finals, complained of feeling cramps. Hit the first hurdle and finished 8th at our national trial. That was unfortunate. However, as they say, the rules are the rules. The Jamaican rules as they exist are the first 3-pass support, barring someone having a medical exemption. So, unfortunately for Omar, and the stories have been out there since the trials of him seeking a medical exemption a little bit before the race, spoke to the J3's president. However, as the situation stands, Omar McLeod is not one of the Jamaicans who will be going to Tokyo to represent us. Now, let's look at the event. The overwhelming favorite is the US's Grant Holloway. Grant Holloway in the semi-finals at the US trials came within a shade of breaking the world record. He ran 12.81. Can anybody do anything to Grant Holloway? Again, as I said before, it's an obstacle race. Anything could happen. But barring, again for me, like Jasmine Camacho came in the 100 meter area, barring any unforeseen eventualities, I think Grant Holloway will win this going away. What about our Jamaican chances in the event? We have 3 very good representatives in this event. Even without Omar McLeod, I think the 3 Jamaican men who are representing in this event are very much possibly finalists. Hansa Parchman, who is an Olympic bronze medal, won a bronze medal in London 2012, have had his troubles with injury, is on his way back. I see Hansa Parchman as a prospective medalist in this event. Mind you, he only finished 3rd in our national trial. But Hansa Parchman has been working his way back from injury, has been rounding into form at the right time. Ran 13.16 at the trials. It augurs well for Hansa Parchman. Our national champion, Ronald Lee, who at the Gateshead London Diamond League recently defeated Omar McLeod, is looking good. I have Ronald Levy as a medalist for the 110 meter hurdles in Tokyo. He has a personal best of 13.08. He ran that in the semi-finals at the trial. He finished 2nd in that semi-finals to Omar McLeod. Turned up for the finals and won it all. He's looking good post our trials, and I have him as a possible silver medalist in the 110 meter hurdles. The other Jamaican contender in this race is Damian. Fresh out of college, had a long season at the NCAAs. He's running good. Ran a PB at the national trials, 13.11. I have him as a finalist. He's young and he's hungry. I have him as a finalist in Tokyo and a possible medalist also. The field in the 110 meter hurdle this year has not been very impressive. The Jamaicans are right up here with the best of the rest of the world. The other US athletes are Devon Allen, who was also in the Olympics in 2016, and Daniel Roberts, who has a PB this year of 13.11 also. I have possibly 3 Jamaican finalists and 3 US finalists We have other persons like Ortega from Spain, former Cuban. There is also a Japanese athlete, Sunsuke Izumiya, who in Japan this year ran 13.06. The Olympics are in Japan. Could we see him making an impressive showing? It could very well be. Outside of Grant Holloway, the rest of the field is somewhat closely bunched. However, I think that our Jamaican men have a chance of all three gentlemen making the finals. And for me, we could have possibly 2 Jamaican medalists in this event. It is my hope. Let's take a look. Let's move from the obstacle races and venture into the 4x100 meter relays. Very interesting. We have 3 of the fastest Jamaican women this year. It sets up an interesting prospect for the 4x1. Shelly and Fraser Price, Elaine and Sherika Jackson. As I said, our top 5, all 3 are top 5 in terms of times this year. What are our prospects in the 4x1? With those 3 ladies and the addition of Brianna Williams, it sets up Jamaica as the preemptive favorite in the 4x1. I also think with the foot speed that we have and that relay team, we should see the world record falling at the Olympics. If we get the button changes right, I can see no reason why the world record of 40.82 could not be shattered by the Jamaican 4x1 ladies. I have a possible lineup of Brianna Williams, 2 Shelly and Fraser Price. On the second leg, we saw Shelly running that leg in Doha, and the effectiveness of which she ran it, she got the stick deep in the zone and handed off later in the zone. There are people who say that the best, when you have your fastest runner run the second leg, it gives you the possibility of applying the best foot speed to the longest leg on the relay. Brianna Williams, 2 Shelly and Fraser, 2 Elaine Thompson, who is our best curve runner in my estimation. I've heard persons juxtaposing and say they should shuffle the order and put Elaine on the second leg, on the final leg. I don't think Sherika Jackson is that great of a curve runner. I think Elaine Thompson runs a better curve. There are speculations about who's passing the baton to who and what might pose a problem. For me, this is the Jamaican 4x1 relay. Personalities and personal interests should take a backseat. We should have one objective in mind, and that should be winning the gold medal, and our second objective should be breaking the world record. For me, the best team is Brianna Williams, 2 Shelly and Fraser on the second leg, Elaine Thompson running the bend as she did in the 2015 World Championships, which we won gold, 2 Sherika Jackson to finish as she did in Doha 2019, and we won that gold in a very impressive time. If we get the button changes spot on for that female 4x100 meters, I see Jamaica definitely winning the gold medal and possibly, quite likely and possibly, breaking the world record. Can we be challenged? The USA without Sha'Carri Richardson will feel a good team, but I don't think they'll be strong enough to beat the Jamaicans. We might see them including people like Gabby Thomas, who ran 21.61 in the 200. We could have her running a possible curve. We could have her on the curve. The US will feel a pretty strong team. We might see people like Jenna Prandini, as I mentioned before, Gabby Thomas, Tiana Daniels, and Jaylene Javin Oliver. That's a pretty good foursome, but not in the class of the Jamaicans. I think barring any button foul up, Jamaica will definitely be winning the women's 4x100 meet at Tokyo 2020. And it is my hope and my expectation that we'll be running somewhere in the region of 40.6, smashing the world record. Let's see what happens in Tokyo 2020. As usual, I'm Pioneer, and this is I Am Sure Sports. We'll continue to preview other events at Tokyo 2020. Thank you very much.